We've all heard that the average CEO reads 50 books a year, whereas the average person barely reads one book a year. And there's a reason for it. These books contain the years of success and failures of the successful so that you can avoid making the same mistakes as they did. So today, we're going over 10 books that can completely change your finances, business, and life. Books that work for you might not work for others, but each book in this list has little nuggets of gold I feel you can use. So make sure you watch this video to the end to get the best of this video. And don't forget to smash that subscribe and like button down at the bottom. So, number 1 on the list is Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. If someone ever wonders where they should begin when starting off on their road to financial freedom, this is the book I recommend. This book gives a very complete understanding to wealth creation, and if you ask anyone in the business community, they would agree. Chances are you've heard of the book yourself, but reading this book is a must as it will change the way you look at money, and that is why it's the first book on the list. It helps you understand what it really takes to build a financially free life. This book talks about mentality that the successful people use to become rich. One of the few being able to understand the difference between assets and liabilities. An asset is something that puts cash in your pocket, whereas a liability is something that takes cash out of your pocket. So in simpler terms, an asset is something that feeds you, and the liability is something that eats you. Poor people have a lot of expenses. Middle class people buy liabilities thinking they are assets, and rich people actually have assets. It also focuses on passive income and how you can use it to fund your dream lifestyle, all the way to the mental blocks and emotions many people experience that keeps them poor, and even a few tricks that the rich use to pay less taxes. Number 2, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. If you're having trouble communicating to others, this is the book for you, as Carnegie shows you the psychology behind how to build a relationship with others. It teaches you about how to win people, how to make them interested in you, and how to be happier at home. With this book, you learn how to interact with people, how to be likable, and how to get them on your way of thinking, and even how to change their perspective without creating resistance or causing offense to them. This is one of those great books that apply in every part of your life. The skills taught in this book are the ones that can completely change your life, as it is a universal skill that can be used in your work life and social life. Number 3, The Richest Man in Babylon. This book is a literal nugget of gold, as it is kept short and easy to read. And apart from its ease of read, it's incredibly powerful on the way it touches on the core fundamentals in growing and acquiring wealth. It's a book about a man who grew up in the same place such as everybody else, but all he had to do to become rich was follow 5 fundamental wealth rules that led him to become the richest man in Babylon. When I first read the book, I learned the most important fundamentals when it comes to money and investment. They're proven principles that haven't changed in 100 years and won't change by tomorrow. Number 4, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This book is the pillar of which all other business books are based on. The author insists that the content of the book can help people succeed in any line of the world. If you haven't read it, do it. This book was the creation of Hill when one of the richest men in the world at the time, Andrew Carnegie, gave him access to the richest men in the world. People who amassed great fortunes and were the best at what they do. Hill's mission was to find out what made these men so successful, because Carnegie was sure that there are hidden principles that these people followed to become successful. In this book is a result of 20 years, yes, 20 years of studying the most successful people in the world, men the average person would never have access to. This is an older book, but the principles that made successful people then are the same as those that make successful people today. Number 5, Influence. Success cannot be created without influence. You will need to create influence in order to achieve what you desire. You need to influence your customer into buying your product. You need to influence people into trusting you over your competition. Regardless of whether you're selling a product, an idea, or yourself, Robert found 7 principles of influence that apply to all people and put it into this one book to help us create massive amounts of influence. These principles are universal in any area of your life, whether it be work or social. And once you master them, you will be able to create influence with anyone you interact with. Number 6, The 4-Hour Work Week. The book that came out in 2007 and completely changed the way people in business look at their businesses. This book focuses on relative income. It focuses on not how much you make, but on how much you make based on how many hours you put in, because your time is more valuable. Tim focuses on cutting out the unnecessary things that most people waste their time in while building a business, while only doing the minimum work necessary while creating the most amounts of results. He also talks about location independence, where you can travel the world but still make your money and live your life to the fullest. Becoming a millionaire was never easier than it is nowadays, and the 4-Hour Work Week is a great stepping stone in the right direction. Number 7, The Millionaire Next Door. If you've always wondered how millionaires live, then this is the book for you. And it's not what you might think or what most people consider it to be. In the book, the author, Thomas, shows us how they found 7 common traits that millionaires have in common, and one of them is how millionaires live way below their means and use the spare money to reinvest to produce more income. It's just like the quote says, it's either you look rich or become rich. Number 8, Money Master the Game. If you're looking for ideas of where and how to invest your money, then this is the book for you. Explained in a way that everyone can understand. This book isn't just advice given from Tony Robbins, but from 50 of the biggest wealth managers in the world. People the average person, the average man, will never have access to. Tony Robbins might be the richest self-help coach in the world right now. He's leveraged the connections he's built over the years to give us access to information on the super wealthy he has access to. This book goes in depth on some of the biggest mistakes that some investors make that cost them a lot of money in order to secure your financial freedom with minimum risks. Number 9, The Power of Habit. If you consider yourself a procrastinator, you might want to check out this book. And if you're not a procrastinator, you might as well still check out this book, because we've all procrastinated at least once. Because Charles breaks down the science and psychology of forming and creating new habits while breaking old ones. We know that our habits makes us or breaks us. So if you're on the market for building new habits or how to alter them into their own way, it is the book for you. Number 10, the last one, the 10x rule. The only difference between success and failure. Grant Cardone, the author of the 10x rule, is the sort of person who cuts to the chase. There's no need for fancy words or any secret strategies. With him, it's only about how to get and ensure that next sale. Sale, sale, sale. He is known for the ability to close down on sales, an ability which got him to where it is today. But you might be reluctant to try the advice given in the book because it requires a person with a lot of determination. Thank you for spending some time with me. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss another video. I also handpicked these videos which I recommend you watch. Thank you for being a part of the family, and see you back next week for an all new video at Luxury with K.